always for once.
I don't think he hates you. I don't think, really? I think you guys might be cool. Your best. I don't think he hates you.
Some people can sit on the couch.
They're coming.
Can I come to your bed?
So now me go finish the full bottle. Kola, wait, now me Joanna go finish the full bottle. So which one we have here full bottle? Make me go. Come collect me on this one. Yeah, now me we go.
Dede, it seems to me.
Another day, another saga in the Big Brother house. This time, we see Dede and Kola in a deep conversation, which I think it's just about time for this conversation to happen. Maybe not 100%, but at least to some extent. And guess what Dede is talking about? She's talking about her boyfriend, about secrets, and maybe even about strategy. Now, at the same time, Joanna and Faith are sharing moments that show us how fragile and yet how powerful human connection can be inside this game. But beyond the drama, what lessons can we learn about friendship, loyalty, and the narratives we carry even outside the house? Let's quickly break it down. Now, for Dede and Kola, secrets, strategy, trust, right? And Dede is gradually opening up to Kola. And you and I know that, during all these past few weeks, Kola has had it for Dede, and Dede is neither here nor there. She has been portraying herself as a very serious strategist, but it goes without saying that Kola has feelings for Dede. Whether the feelings are serious or not serious, there's something going on, right? But this time around, during this conversation, Dede is gradually opening up to Kola, but not fully. So she mentions that she has a boyfriend, right? Which I think we already know that. And Kola is now saying that it's possible he knows her boyfriend. And I'm wondering, does Kola know everybody in Lagos State? Like, I don't get it. Did you know Dede outside the house before now? So how can you be so sure that you know her boyfriend? Anyway, moving on. And Dede responds that Kola can never know him. He may know people associated with him, but not know him. So I'm not even understanding the conversation, because it just looks like they're both talking in riddles, and it's not a straightforward conversation, and yet has loads and loads of hidden meanings behind them. But this tells us something important. In life and also in business too, people often reveal just enough to keep others curious, but never enough to lose control. So it's obvious that the game is being played here. Dede is transactional. I keep saying this all the time. She's beautiful, she's smart, but man, this girl knows exactly what she is doing, and she's also secretive. She only lets you know what she feels you should know. One thing I'll tell you is that trust is very expensive in the BBNaija house, and trust can win you allies outside and inside, right? Inside the house and outside in real life, it's the same thing. Trust can win you opportunities, but half trust and half truths, they build fragile connections that may not survive once the cameras go off. And I can see Dede, talking about, it's almost 2 weeks to the end of the entire show. She'd like an opportunity to be able to speak freely. The cameras are always on them, so it's not everything that you can say in front of the camera. It's like you're telling the whole world everything about yourself. So that's quite understandable, right? And the truth is that everyone, not just she herself, is probably looking out for the time when they'll be out of the house to actually start living, their real lives, because everything they are doing here is just for show. Tasks are being won, the people winning are winning, the ones losing are losing, And the fans are watching closely. Dede seems to be in good spirits. I mean, for her to be making this move of having this kind of I don't want to call it intimate conversation with Kola, so I guess there's a shift happening somewhere. But what does this say? That sometimes when the end is in sight, people start to loosen up. They start to enjoy the process. I guess the competition now starts reducing to an extent, and they allow themselves to be freer. Don't wait till the end of the season to start living is what I would have said to any of them, Joy and happiness is not something you postpone until the finish line. It's something you create daily, even in the middle of pressure. So most of the characters that Kola has shown, Dede has shown, Joanna has shown, Faith, Imisi, and the rest of them, while some people may think they are acting, it actually might also show us or give us a deeper insight to how their character truly is. Because you can't fake who you are. That's what I feel, and I'd love to hear your opinion in the comments. Meanwhile, Joanna is serving punishment, so she's crawling around the house, or is it couches, and her bestie Faith, permit me to call him bestie, suggests knee pads to make it easier for her. And it's surprising that Joanna is shocked with a statement like, "No one has ever treated me this kindly before." I find that a bit strange because, well, it may not be obvious to her, but it's obvious to fans and we watching outside that Faith cares for her. Now, I can't tell if it's intimate or not, because sometimes it looks like it's something deeper, especially like when she came out of the house after that 3 days in the secret room with Dede and Rude Boy. But I mean, when you think you understand the next game coming, these guys just pull up a surprise. So what I know that is happening here is simple but powerful. In a house full of mind games, a small act of kindness shifts the entire dynamic. And Joanna is beginning to see Faith differently. And that's how it is outside the house too. Kindness costs little, but it changes everything. And the smallest thoughtful gesture can open doors that manipulation and strategy never will. So where me and I have an issue is that I feel like Joanna gives Jason Jae more attention than Faith. Maybe that is going to change from now and till the end of the show. But I feel like she gives Jason Jae more attention. And I mean, there's been talk of Faith enjoying seeing her dance with other people. I mean, I don't really know what to say about that. I'd like to hear what you think. I find it pretty strange, but it's obvious that there's nothing intimate going on between the both of them. Or even if Joanna is interested, I don't think Faith is interested, and it's not even compulsory. Two adults can actually have a relationship without it being intimate. I'm talking about, the S word here. So, but the obvious fact here is that Faith thought of her comfort during this punishment period than Jason, who she seems to be giving more attention. And it looks like Joanna is having a rethink. Jason could be fun, but Faith is actually dependable, and I think that makes more sense than having someone who is your friend but yet is not measuring up, if you get what I mean. So this triangle shows us something deep about relationships. People don't always remember the loudest person in the room, but they never forget who makes them feel safe. So for my people out there, thank you so much for listening up to this point, for subscribing, for liking, for commenting and joining and engaging in the conversation. One thing I'd like to say is that attention may be exciting, but care is actually what sustains relationships. I mean, whether in friendships, love affairs, business, consistency beats charisma. And I think that it's the winner. At the end of it all, Faith has shown he is a trustworthy and dependable friend. Now, one interesting comment I want to bring to your attention is where Jason said that after the show, they have just about a year, to keep the buzz alive. They can't be famous forever, but at least within that time period before the next season, they have that time to keep the buzz alive around themselves, and which is very true. because many will carry narratives, even fake ones, if it helps them outside the house. And this is why I keep saying that Dede is highly transactional, because Dede leans into certain stories because she knows the power of public perception. Like I said, she's very intelligent, she's very smart, and she's very strategic. But that's not just a BBNaija strategy now. Don't get me wrong. I love Dede, I love Kola, I love quite a number of them. They all have their good sides and their bad sides. So we are human beings, right? And this is life. People will always craft brands and tell stories and play roles to survive outside the spotlight. So the question is, do you want to live a narrative or do you want to live your truth? Which of these house members is actually living their truth, and which of these house members are actually living a narrative? So from today's discussion, I'll tell you this: trust is fragile. I personally have some in that house that I can't even trust. But I mean, whatever works for them, whatever keeps them in the house, and whatever helps them to win, the cash prize and every other thing that comes with it, but kindness will always stand out in a crowd of mind games. That is just a fact. And attention may fade, but true care leaves a mark. And outside the house, because they will eventually come outside. Just like inside, people will choose stories. Some will be real and some will not, to keep themselves relevant. And I honestly respect all of them for giving us this level of content, because looking at previous seasons, or let me just compare to the last season, once it's getting close to the end of the entire show, things are already dying down. But these guys have consistently been able to give us drama back to back. It's either fighting or, backstabbing, gossip, ships that are not sailing anywhere, and ships that look like they want to sail, but I mean, only God knows what's going on. But I mean, they are giving us good content, giving us things to talk about, and making life more exciting for us. So as the season counts down, the housemates aren't just fighting for a prize, they're fighting to be remembered. And I respect that. And maybe that's the biggest lesson for all of us. What do you want to be remembered for? The game you played, or the life that you truly lived? Thank you very much for watching. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next video.